Buddy Nancy Hart here, Whole Heart Evolution, with another question for you. How many of you are tailgaters? Somebody who really enjoys a good tailgate with family, with friends, random fans that you pick up along the way. Yeah? How many of you are like that? Yeah? Or go ahead, enjoy a good cookout. Well, for those of you who may be having a look at this from another country and wondering what you crazy Americans are doing in a thing called a tailgate and what is that, let me give you a definition for what tailgating actually is. The definition, and I will read this to you, is to host or attend a social gathering at which an informal meal is served from the back of a parked vehicle, typically in the parking lot section of a sports stadium. And then they give an example. Lot 16E is reserved for the alumni who wish to tailgate before the game. So it's the party out of the back of the trunk of a car or the boot of a car, wherever you happen to be. Now, what in the heck does this have to do with Christmas or anything else? And what is a Christmas tailgate? Christmas tailgate was the answer to a prayer and the solution to a problem. It kind of started like this. We needed a solution. I have been part of a Christmas gathering for close to 20 years, I think it is now, hosted by a very, very dear friend. She has organized it. We have been as many as 30. We have been as few as 4. And it's always a joyous time because when I couldn't be with my family, these guys anchored it for me. In good times, in tough times, I could always count on where I'd be on Christmas Day. Fast forward to about a week ago. This dear friend of mine who is hosting calls me up, and I can just hear the sadness in her voice. And she's like, Nance, what are we going to do? Now, like so many of you, we are facing what came to call for all of us, and that's this doggone thing called COVID. And what are we going to do with the holidays, and how do we be with our friends and family? We were particularly sensitive to kind of our dwindling numbers over the past few years, in particular one individual who is particularly vulnerable right now and will continue to be. And we were also really sensitive to the idea that this might be her last time with us, as she is likely moving to another city to be with her family. And just feeling the weight of that, and just the sadness of, we're typically used to coming together for a meal and maybe a couple of cocktails and swapping some really bad stories and some lovely gift giving and just being together and being warm and kind of that real heart and soul of what Christmas is. And here we are threatened, just this little group of 4, with how in the heck are we going to do this? So we started brainstorming, as all good people do. What can I do with what I have from right where I am? When we began to peel back what we really wanted, the energy of what we really wanted to create, we said, well, what if we simplify this whole doggone thing? And what if we took a cue from all of these circles of chairs in the courtyard, but we really did something fun with it? What if we did, dun, 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 a Christmas tailgate? Here's why a tailgate. Here's why out of a car. As I mentioned, we have one of our members who's kind of vulnerable. And we decided that because she's got the SUV, interestingly enough, we could pop open the back, create a nice little warm sitting area for her, turn on the heat in the car, keep her all snug as a bug in a rug, put up some pennants and some gewgaws and some doo-wops and doohickeys, and really create a little festive outdoor gathering for ourselves. We can do it in the afternoon, we can have dessert out there, we can skip the meal, but just have a time where we could be together just for an hour, hour and a half. Maybe we exchange gifts, maybe we don't. But the idea of a tailgate just lifted both of our hearts, and we're like, doggone it, we're going to do this. So that's what's in the plan. Now, what does this have to do with the Grinch, of all things? Well, it's funny. As I was thinking and creating with her this idea of this Christmas tailgate, it really came to what I mentioned a moment ago. What is the energy that we really wanted to create here? And I found myself, because one of my favorite stories of all time, particularly around the holiday season, is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. And I am particularly fond of the original cartoon that was done and voiced by the amazing Boris Karloff. He reads it as the animation's going through, and it warms my heart every time I hear it. And what I could hear in my heart and in my head as we were planning all of this out and going, yippee, we've got it, was this. And I'm going to share just the last few words of this story with you. And it goes like this. The Who's are all together in Whoville, and they're at the table. And we hear Boris Karloff's voice saying, Christmas Day is in our grasp, as long as we have hands to clasp. Christmas Day will always be, just as long as we have we. Welcome Christmas while we stand, heart to heart and hand to hand. Whatever your Christmas, whatever your holiday, whether it's Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or many of the other festivals in this season of light and season of dark, may you know and may you feel the connection heart to heart and hand to hand with those that you love most dearly. Because COVID, no COVID, the state of the world, not the state of the world, ultimately, that's what matters. So may your season be filled with joy. May you have hands to clasp, metaphorically, literally, or virtually. Hey, Zoom, yeah? And we are heart to heart, and we are hand in hand. Happy holidays to all of you. Merry Christmas to those who are going to be sharing it next week. And feel my gratitude and my heart, my whole heart, to all of you. Have a great, great week and a great, great season. Chin up, everybody. Here we go. Take care. We'll see you soon.